Speaking of arms, you got any advice for the bicep working out there? What are those things on your shoulders? Are those part of that T-shirt, or what's going on right in here?
This is upper trap, upper trapezius,
Okay.
right there, and that muscle is worked out primarily through shoulder shrugs. So you get
My wife,
big
I'm
heavy
like, hey,
weights.
will you do this? And she's like, this.
Yeah, but put weights in her hands first.
Okay, I got you.
But I mean, fitness, bodybuilding, fitness, that's definitely something that I could talk for 6 straight hours about. And
I was about to ask if could we go to full body? Could we?
that's obvious as to hell if you think about it. No one's making you smoke. You're paying to smoke. Like,
You turned green. You turned green.
am I
Are you
so
green?
green? You're green.
You're.
I'm serious.
No, you're green, bro.
You're greener than me.
All right, we're good. You're back out of it. I don't know what happened, but you're.
Yeah, you're not green either. That's really weird that you saw me as green and I saw you as green. Oh,
Anyways,
you saw
do
me as
steroids
green.
work out? Did you see anyone overdose while you were there?
No, but I saw 2 women like fight. Not really fight, but one of them like snatched the other one's drink and like real smugly just turned around, walked away, and the one who got her drink snatched grabbed the other girl by the hair and just yanked her down. She fell flat on her back and said something like, "Dumb bitch, don't touch my stuff."
You can have her if the price is right.
Set the shot.
Hey, I like the fact that you're not wearing
Mhm.
sleeves.
I hardly ever wear sleeves.
I'd be disappointed if you had full sleeves on right now.
Okay, this is. Does it look? It looks real grainy on my side.
Looks great.
There's no graininess. Let me wipe that
Mm-mm.
off.
I mean, not any more than normal
Yeah,
Zoom calls.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're grainy too, so it's all
Oh
good.
shit! Well, never mind. Let's cancel. I'm grainy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, like you,
Webcam, I'm
like
using
you
in a
just,
dark room.
like you just said, I think it's as grainy as it's supposed to be.
I
Basically.
think that adds to the je ne sais quoi of it.
Oh yeah, the menage a trois. Of
You
the
speak French?
situation. That's the only phrase I know. Sake
you been to
bleu,
France?
whatever that means. No, I try to avoid that as often as possible.
Never go to France. I went before, and it was everything you'd imagine it to be, only more French.
Oh damn, lots of escargot eating.
I didn't eat any escargot at all. Their food was bad, and water cost $5. So, and
Well,
I almost got mugged in a tunnel, and I lost my wedding ring the very first day we were there. The very first day I had it, actually.
sounds like you had a bad trip.
It was a good trip. It was fine.
Yeah, well, I guess in another weird way, all that sounds kind of fun too.
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing over there? I feel like you're playing that tanks game from when we were kids. You got the helmet on.
No,
What are you
but
doing?
I don't know which tanks game you're referring to, but there was a game, the trajectory
Okay.
one.
Yeah, where you pick,
Oh,
you gotta.
dude, I loved
it,
that.
it would bore a tunnel underneath you, and yeah,
Man, I loved that game. I
I'd
can't
tear you up
believe
on that one.
I didn't think anyone knew about that except for me and a couple of little friends. But I was a big fan of that game because first I played. Okay, no, I think the tanks was first. I don't remember. There was a monkeys on buildings throwing bananas. You remember that one?
It was on a computer or not, or
It
that's
was
an
on the
arcade game.
computer. It
No,
was
I
on the
don't. That
computer.
sound.
But
No.
then shortly after that, I was like, that game's cool. But then I found the tanks game, which, it was like Windows 95 or something. It was a Windows game, right?
It was old. Yeah.
It was old. Anyway, like people would not be impressed with it these days. But gameplay wise, very sound, very simple. You could have 8 players and they all had different names. You pick your tank color and of course I'm describing this to other people, not you because you played it. But
No, this is beautiful. Keep going.
yeah, there's different levels. Like you can be in space. You can alter the gravity so that your missiles are affected by gravity. You have to factor that in. If you're on Earth, you can have wind and harsh winds. If you imagine you shoot your shit straight up into the sky, it's going to go towards the wind.
See you
You got to
later.
factor
Yeah.
that in. Yeah. So it's all physics based. You don't even have to be good at physics. You're like, oh well, that shit didn't work out. Let me adjust it. You don't have to be good at physics.
Accuracy by volume.
Yeah, you do a test shot, you do your best shot, and then you adjust from there.
Yeah.
But you take your shot, and then everyone else takes their shots. So if someone almost hit you a while ago, they might hit you next time. So be careful. But you can also buy fuel, so you move your tank a little bit and use some of that fuel. I
don't
would
remember
buy
that part.
fuel. Yeah, I would buy fuel. Other people wouldn't buy fuel because I like
I don't think we knew.
adjusting. And you can also help people out. Like if you're like, man, he almost shot you, so I'm gonna shoot below him and knock his dirt out so that his tank falls. And you can kill people like that too. There's a missile called the digger. You shoot the digger
I remember that one.
at the dirt underneath somebody, and it just like spreads like a web, a spider web, and deletes a bunch of the dirt, and then everything, according to the physics, falls. And then the tank that was on top of it also falls, and it will take falling damage. It might destroy the damn thing. It was just a really cool, interesting, fun game. And nowadays, developers care way more about graphics and animations and how cool something looks, and not nearly enough about is the game actually good or not. Like they don't
Right.
care
Snake was
much
a
about
boring
that.
game, but it was entertaining. It kept you there. It's not the most advanced game. Snake, remember that one on the Nokia? Little.
Oh yeah, that was an anxiety-inducing game.
Hey, but you would play it for hours, you know.
Yeah, yeah, but it was just like, the better you did, the harder it get. I guess that's kind of how games are. But that was the poster child of that because the snake just gets longer and you're running out of room to move, but you want it to get longer. So I don't know, just very. I didn't like the anxiety associated
This
with that game.
segment is called "Old People Tell Young People About Video Games from the '90s."
Back when they were good.
How old are you?
I am 34 and I'm turning 35 in March.
In March, okay. So that's about the same age. I'm 32, about to turn 33. So that's right around the snake/tank era.
Yeah, we got those good old school games in us.
Did you y'all catch any snow this week?
We had the way I described it was beautiful coming down and just mud and water when it hit the ground. None of it stuck at all. So it was fun to look at, but after that it's just like, oh, it rained and it's cold is what it felt like.
Yeah,
So I mean,
it's stuck here.
I was what was I doing? I have a terrible short-term memory. Whatever I was doing, I couldn't enjoy any aspect of the snow. Let's just put it that way.
I hear you.
I had a show, like I had a friend coming from Oklahoma, had to meet her somewhere, and then I had to have the show later. So basically just a bunch of driving in inclement weather. Like that's not fun. You want to sit home and enjoy it, go in the yard, but I just had a bunch of driving in inclement weather, so I didn't really enjoy it that much. But I appreciate that it happened. I'm happy for my friends.
It's cool to look at on Facebook too. Everybody else had a good time. Where are you
Where do
from
you live,
originally?
by the way? I know you're
I
like
live
in
in
the
Tig.
Forney area. Teague?
No.
Okay.
No, nowhere
That's by
near Florida.
Fairfield.
It's by Fairfield.
Okay, I used to work, and you said where I'm from originally. I'll kind of transition. I'll combine both of those things.
Do
I'm an
them
East
both.
Texan. I'm an East
Okay.
Texan. Do you know where Henderson is?
Oh yeah, I broke
Okay.
down in Henderson.
Right outside of Henderson is Price, Texas, aka Carlisle, a little nothing town. There's a bunch of little nothing towns. You got Price, Concord, Turnertown, Big Springs. They're all nothing towns, and they're around the Troop, Henderson, ARP, Liberty City. Well, not Liberty City. It's a little farther. I'm from that little podunk nothing town. Graduated with about 25 people. Tiny town.
Is that real?
That's
25?
real. That really happened. It may have been like 28, but like less than 30 people. And then, and I know about I mean, I know about Teague because I'm East Texan. Everyone knows all
Right. I'm
these
from
towns.
Buffalo originally.
Okay. See, when I worked for Encore Electric Delivery for like 8 years, something like that, 7, 8. Oh, actually, I think it was like 7 years. My wife thinks it's 9, so I'll say 8. I'll figure it out
That's 8.
someday. But I worked there, and I worked out of the Tyler office for a while, and but I would do Buffalo, Teague, Fairfield, Frost. I'd do all those little towns. So it was kind of weird. I lived in Tyler and was working in Buffalo and Teague and Fairfield. And another weird story. You'll learn I can talk for fucking 6 hours straight.
I'll be more direct
But
with my questions.
but that won't help. But anyway, Teague, there was a gas station right by
Quit saying
45.
it like that. Shit.
What?
Tig.
Tig? Oh, is it Tig?
Yeah. Yeah,
I've
with the
always
I.
said Tig.
I know it. I know it. Yeah, I know.
Well, and then I
Everybody
worked
does.
in
You'll get in
then I
trouble
worked
around
in
here.
I worked in Mexia for a while. No,
That's
I'm
how you
playing.
say that one. Yeah.
Tig. Okay, I need to get that through my head because I like to
Locals call
respect
that
those
place
boundaries.
Mahair.
Mahair. Wow,
An
so
R at
that's
the end.
further. That's further evolved from Mahia.
It's
Uh,
very through an extra.
Mahair. My God, they're just messing with us at this point.
Hmm.
But in Teague, right by 45, on one side there's a gas station. On the other side there was like a place to eat that everyone loved. I'm sure you know what it is.
Okay.
Maybe not, but there's
I
a
don't know.
place. Okay, there was a place where everyone loved to eat. I never ate there, but I heard great things. But on the other side was the gas station, and I would go there. And nowadays, um, I'm much more fit. I have many more muscles than I used to have.
I
But
have
back
a
then,
whole list here, and muscles are part of it. So
hell yeah, I'm
muscles.
all
Yeah.
about that. But I was 6'4", 215, just skinny fat is all I was, and so I didn't give a crap what I ate or drank, and my diet through most of the day was sodas, sunflower seeds, beef jerky, whatever, just junk, pork rinds, spicy pork skins. I went to that gas station, and there was a cup that was like that big. You cannot hold it with one hand. It was like the
About like
big,
this.
yeah, like the what's it called? The Bubba or some shit
Yeah, I'm
like
sure it's
that.
called the Big Boba. Yeah.
Some redneck name,
The
and
Big Gulp.
big gulp, something like that, and it was like 69 cents to fill it up. And
Mm-hmm. Take two of them.
I'm also very cheap. I grew up very thrifty, and so I'm like, well, I can't pass this up. So I'd fill that sucker up with Dr. Pepper. I'd just be drinking it, driving, working. Obviously, I felt like crap, but I drank so much Dr. Pepper just because it was a good deal. I didn't want that much Dr. Pepper, but every time I got it, I felt like I was scamming the system. Like, man,
Fucking water's free though. Look, that's a really good deal.
yeah, but Dr.
69 cents.
Pepper's water is
Better.
one flavor. Dr. Pepper is
Right.
23 flavors. So
23
that's
flavors.
23 times my investment. But that's just one of many stupid, weird stories I have about my work life,
So,
my work
what'd your
history.
parents do over there? In
Um,
like 28 words or less.
Dad worked at an electric company, power plant. Power plant, not
Okay.
like an electrician.
Power
And
plant.
my mom, still to this day, I'm not exactly sure what all my mom has done, but she worked for HR for a nonprofit company, Special Health Resources,
I don't know what any of
and
those
did
things
H.
really are.
I know it's so stupid and vague, but human resources for some companies. Okay, that's what she did, and throughout all that, they've always done praise and worship music, like they're musicians as well. But that's what they
Hmm.
did for a living.
So, how did you start playing punk tree then? Talk to us about
Well,
punk tree music, punk country, country punk
well,
disco. What is it?
country punk disco. There's lots of different names. My buddy calls it riot folk. I call it
Okay.
punk folk or fiddle punk or fiddle folk. But whatever you call, some people call it cow punk.
I like I've heard cowpunk, but I like fiddle folk. That's pretty good.
Fiddle folk sounds good too. I like that one. But I I did punk music The genesis of all this is just the fact that I love country and I love punk and I love emo and I love
Did
rock.
you play in a punk band?
In in high school, my favorite band was definitely Sublime. I loved Sublime because they could play punk, they could play reggae, they could play uh, Detroit Motown music. They whatever they felt like doing. They start rapping all of a sudden. And I'm like, damn, they have no limits, and it's all kind of cool what they do. So we had a band that did punk music, a little bit of
Yeah.
reggae. We didn't rap, but we would have had we, thought about it. We
Been
just didn't
cooler.
really care. Yeah, if we're cooler. But that was kind of the start of my love for artists or bands that can, stretch it out and do different things. So I did the folk punk, the fiddle folk music, and did a couple albums of that, and then decided I kind of want to do more country type thing. And I love the old 97s too, and they're obviously alt country and punk rock. They kind of same concept there. They kind of span different genres. So I was like, I'm just gonna do a straight up country album, and then I did Puzzle Man, and then I did Whiskey Attitude very recently. I just released that one in November, and now this year I'm like, should I do another country album? Should I do another punk album? And I'm actively working on a country album. That's what I was doing today. I was recording two duets, and I'm gonna do that album. I'm also gonna do a fiddle punk album. Reba, quit. I'm gonna do a fiddle punk album, a sequel to the first fiddle punk acoustic album. I'm going to do a country acoustic album. So I'm going to do lots of different things. Now the country album, the fully produced country album, that's just I did Puzzle Man in 2019, Whiskey Attitude 2020. This will just be my 2021. I'm going to try to keep an album every year with that.
You're the Louis C.K. of Texas country.
How's that consistency wise?
Yeah, an album a year or something.
Oh, nice. I didn't know he did that. That's cool. But I'm going to try to do that. But in addition to that, acoustic albums are kind of a different animal. Like you can get them done quicker, you can get them done cheaper. So I think I can do a country acoustic album and a punk acoustic album in the same year that I do the fully produced country album. So that's my goals for this year.
That's great. Are you a goals guy? Are you the guy who writes something down or no? You said you penciled me in at 8.
Nowadays, that's just
There's an
a
ambulance behind you.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing back there. Who knows? Hopefully, no one good died. But I used to not be a goals person at all. Like I would make fun of people who made up goals, and anyone that was successful was a loser.
What a loser.
You know, I was like, oh, that guy's rich. What a loser. But I've since read books and things and educated myself how stupid that is.
Read it in a book.
I read it in a book. But now I do have goals. I don't really do well with writing down lots of short-term goals because that stresses me out and then I'm just unhappy. And the ultimate goal for everyone ultimately is happiness. So I'll have like kind of vague goals that I know how to accomplish. Like I'm going to maintain my fitness and blah, blah, blah. I know what to do there. It's diet and be at the gym fairly consistently. It's easy. That's a goal though. And then I'll have the goals of not this month I'm going to get 2 songs done in the studio. I don't want that. That's too concrete. Once
Yeah.
again, that's stressful. That adds shit to it. I don't know how much I'm going to be working at the hospital. So how do I know I'm going to be able to get to the studio? So those aren't good goals for me. So my goal, like I told you, is like this year I'm going to find a way to get this album done and get these 2 acoustic albums done. So it keeps it vague and open and possible because one of the worst things you can do to yourself is to lie to yourself. Like those people that are like, I'm never going to eat a bad food again. Well, that's a stupid thing to say because you're definitely going to at some point drink a beer or eat a piece of pie or eat a candy bar. I mean, everyone's going to. So why would you lie to yourself? Now you can't trust yourself. Now you're a piece of shit. You're going to stay a piece of shit because you keep lying to yourself. So I don't want to lie to myself. I want to make sure I know for a fact that I have a legitimate shot to do what I'm trying to do. That's why I keep my goals broad and practical. This year, I'm going to do these three things, these big
And
projects.
it has to be something that you can reach, and it has to be practical, and it has to have a timeline on it. So I feel like that's a good goal. Those what you just said.
Yeah, something that you know you can do, something that does have a timeline. Because if it's just like I'm going to record an album, I mean, like 10 years could go by.
That's not
Well, I'm
really a
still,
goal.
yeah, 10 years. Like it's still in play. No, that's
Yeah, it
not.
has to have a timeline on it. Yeah,
Got to have some sort of timeline that gives you,
20 pounds by July is a goal. Losing weight is not really a
Right.
goal.
Yeah, exactly. And you think about it like this. The one reason why this is, I don't know if you are a nerd in any way as far as like fantasy books, elves and shit like that. But
No, but I love other dorks. So go ahead.
okay, well, I'm one of them. Basically, the thing is like all the races in these fantasy books, humans are the hustlers. Like their ambition is so strong. They're the ones building all these cities. They're the ones conquering stuff. They're the ones getting all this stuff done. And basically the reason why is because our lives are so short. We live maybe 80 years. Elves live 2,000. They're in no hurry. They're not trying to conquer the world. That's their life flows differently. Like imagine if you knew you were never going to die, you're in no hurry to get anything
I
done.
wouldn't really worry about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, but we can't fully wrap our minds around it because you'll people will be like, no, I would still be driven. You don't know that. None of us have had an infinite amount of life ahead of us. You don't know that. Chances are you would adapt to who you are as a species. And there's bugs like dragonflies. They live like what 72 hours. So they're like
They got to
born
get some shit
and
done. They have goals.
they start flying, they reproduce, and they're like, I'm
Yes.
gonna die soon, and they don't chill. They're not like, oh, I'll have kids someday. Yeah, they're like, I got 3 days, and they know it. So you
Yeah.
innately know. So humans, we put these. You have to, basically. My point is, you got to put a time restriction on something that you're never going to get done. Like, oh, I have forever to do it. Well,
No, you
good luck
don't.
getting it done.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't wait to title this segment Seth Jones teaches me about elves. And then
Yeah, I
that'll
know.
be like, 2 minutes or something like that on YouTube.
I know a decent amount about elves. I'm not going to act like
Yeah.
I'm the elf expert.
All right. So, worst gig you've ever had? This has nothing to do with elves. That's a shit segue. But
Yeah.
if you were an elf,
Could have been a resonance. What was it called? The Resonance Fair.
yeah,
Why can I
I
not
never
say
played
that
there.
word?
I would play there.
Renaissance Fair. That would be awesome. Renaissance Fair.
I'd wear a horse outfit. I'd play that shit.
But I'm sure I'm forgetting shitty gig somewhere that my mind just forgot, just blacked
Can you just
out.
give me an example of a shitty gig, or maybe the worst load-in you've ever had?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the worst one I can recall right now. It was at a place called the Purple Pig. You may have been
Flint?
there actually. Yeah, there you go. I forgot that you're from
Never been
Tig,
there.
but
I've never
but you
been
know
there, but I
about
called
it.
them and
It's
they told me the
literally
budget, and I did not drive in.
there's literally a Purple Pig. So you drive by.
Yep.
You're probably on your way back from time out or something.
Lindale. What's that place called? Love and War or whatever. Texas
Oh
Music
yeah.
City.
Yeah. Take Music City now. But anyway, I played at Purple Pig one time.
Time
It was
out, dude.
great.
What are you trying to get me in trouble?
I was
Never
just trying to
been
make a subtle East Texas reference.
I
But
understand.
I played at the Purple Pig one time, and there's a little indoor area. It's like a dirt floor, but it's enclosed, plastic looking windows. You know how it is. They like built an addition there. I played there. There are tables. There's a sound system, a little stage, a little something, and I had like I alone brought 20 people there. It was a nice little crowd. They were all attentive. Uh, I played for like 2 hours. It was great. Well, about 8 months later or something like that, I call them again. I'm like, I want to play a show. And they're like, oh, yeah, absolutely. How about Friday night? And I say, sweet. I dealt with a different person this time. The one I dealt with originally was not there, but whatever.
They
So
never are.
I showed up. I showed up, and once again, I brought 10 to 20 people, like a decent little crowd, just to see me. And I get in there, and it's raining hard. So despite the hard rain, you know what that could do to a crowd. Despite the hard rain, I still brought 10 to 20 people. I don't remember how many, but so far so good. Well, he goes, hey, we don't really have a sound system anymore. It's out there and it doesn't really work. But this room's got really good acoustics. Don't If you ever hear that, just go home.
Just leave.
Because
Just get your guitar and go home.
I was like, okay. I kind of looked around, and I was obviously a little bit, and I was like 25. I don't remember how old I was, this was a while back. But I was kind of disappointed, like, yeah, I kind of want to like sing on a mic with a speaker and stuff. But okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. He owns the place, Surely he has. Surely he's not lying to me. So I kind of stood there in the corner, no mic, no, just acoustic guitar, just a dude in the building with a guitar. And I was singing, and the rain was hitting the tin roof, and I couldn't even hear myself. So I was
No,
like
you couldn't hear
singing,
yourself.
singing louder so people could hear me, and which sounds like shit. So I was kind of just yelling songs to people who couldn't hear me or understood what I was saying. It was just terrible. And I played for like an hour, and I was like, all right, guys, appreciate y'all coming out despite the rain. And they're like, what? It was just terrible, man. Anytime you hear,
That's a good one. That's a good
like,
story.
so it is good. It's a good cautionary tale. So
Thank you, Steve. That is a good story.
I tell people like, look, if there's not a mic and a PA of some sort, like, I don't want to play. I'm sorry.
So you don't carry your own. You don't ever take your own gear.
I do now. I got a little
Yeah.
Fishman amp.
Yeah.
It's good enough, gets the job done. But back then, I showed up to use the house gear. I played there before. And then the guy was like, no, these are great acoustics. You can play here.
That's why you pay me so little, is because you said that you had house sound and it was all these things, and now you don't have house sound and you're still paying me $50 to be at the.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
getting screwed. But yeah, that was
That's awesome.
But it's like, that's not a horrible story. There wasn't like a fight where my guitar got broken, I got hit, and
But that's
it
a
wasn't
horrible
like
gig.
it's a horrible gig, and it's one that obviously I hated because it sticks with me. I remember that I hated it so much. Like, it's a shitty situation.
Would you play the pig again?
If yeah, because I would say stuff like, I'd be like, hey, I've played here before. It was a terrible situation. There was no sound. Do y'all have a sound system? Do I need to bring something? And honestly, if they said, yeah, we got sound, I would still bring the Fishman amp and my mic. And, I'd still bring my stuff. It's because, when
Because you're a
just,
professional now.
yeah, I'm a pro now. But when you're just doing an acoustic act anyway, you ain't got that much stuff to bring. Or, like, you just bring your speakers, bring your little monitor, bring your guitar. It's not that much. So even if they're like, yeah, we have a sound system, just spend 20 minutes loading your shit up and go. You might not
Just
even
in
have to take it
case.
out of you might not even have to take it out. So, but you
Or
have
you
it.
could get there and their sound system could be from the 80s and it couldn't work.
Yeah, it's
and
terrible.
half the channels are cut out and the speaker doesn't really work, and I'd rather bring my own crap and set up 20 minutes worth than have to play through junk and sound like crap for multiple hours at a time.
Yeah, it's just honestly, a lot of any anytime I have had like some sort of anxiety about a show, like, I don't know if I should do this or not, it was all based on, like, are my strings going to break and I have no guitar, or is the sound system going to peter out and no one can hear me? It's all technical stuff. So if anything, go over prepared so that you don't have to worry about that. You're like, hey, if something breaks, I'll just get out the other one. Like I'm good.
Right.
So I
If
would
I know
suggest to
people who
people,
do not bring extra strings, they don't bring batteries, they got 1/4 inch cable for their guitar, and then they get there and that 1/4 inch cable goes out and you're screwed, you know. So
and that
yeah, I
just tells
agree.
me they haven't been through that part yet because
Or they just don't learn. I know people who played like in bands for 5 years, and if you don't tell them, hey, go get some strings today, you know, they're
that's
gonna
just
show up and be
sad.
like, I'm here at the gig, you know.
Yeah, I bring two guitars. I bring just a backup
Yeah.
guitar. That way I can just grab it.
Oh yeah, we've been stuck out in the rain, so to speak, so many times that me and our guys basically it's just we got three of everything and an extra in the truck if we needed it. So, what about a favorite place to play besides the mountain? Because I want to talk about the mountain later. So let's talk about something else besides that one.
Okay.
Maybe a favorite gig you've done or a really epic gig. We played in Linda one time with Ray Wiley or something like that. Like maybe is there anything like
Oh, that's
super
awesome.
dope you've done, or maybe like your favorite place where there's maybe a little crowd but they're really into it or something like that.
I'll say what was really cool was when I played at Adair's
Yeah, that's cool.
because one, it's Adair's. That's Jack Ingram kind of made that semi-famous for me anyway, because he used to tear that place up. It's Deep Ellum. That's kind of cool. Playing in Deep Ellum.
So sketchy.
It was very sketchy.
That's to the cool
Also,
factor.
Also, I hadn't played with a full band in years at that point, and then boom, I had a full band. So I was like, man, I missed this. Also, my lead guitar player was Mike McClure. That's awesome. That's
Why?
because Mike McClure is like
No,
a
why was he there?
oh, well, I kept telling him and his bass player like, yeah, I got this show at Adair's, but I don't know if I can find a band. And they're like, we'll help you find a band, and if you can't find anyone, we'll be your band. I'm like, y'all gonna be available that date? And they're like, yeah. So I was like,
I'd be
well,
like,
y'all
I
just
called
be the.
everybody, Mike. I'm sorry. I tried to call
That's basically
everybody
what
I
I
knew.
said. I said, let's just say y'all are gonna play the show then. They're like, okay. So and I was recording the punk album with McClure at that time, so that's why we were constantly talking, and he was receptive to it. But so you got Eight Airs, Deep Ellum, Mike McClure's the lead player, and I packed the damn place out. Like it was the night before Independence Day or something. So we knew
From
that.
your TikTok or why?
No, this is before TikTok. But I just invited. I mean, and I'll get to that in a second too.
All
Here I
right.
go
I'm
again.
sorry.
But
Too many things. Keep going.
yeah, my brain's working fast right now. But we packed it out, like standing room only. I personally got like 30 people there, and then they're like 60 people just because they're off the next day. It was Deep Ellum. They're coming in and out. It was a fun time. So I remember that gig is one of the cooler gigs I've had. And
That's a cool gig.
what was I about to say? What was I about to get at? I said something that made me think of something else, and then I dialed myself back. What was I talking about?
60
McClure.
people. There was 30. You
60
brought 30,
people.
which was 10 more than you did at the pig. And then 60 people didn't have to work the next day.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see anyone overdose while you were there?
No, but I saw two women like fight. Not really fight, but one of them like snatched the other one's drink and like real smugly just turned around, walked away, and the one who got her drink snatched grabbed the other girl by the hair and just yanked her down. She fell flat on her back and said something like, "Dumb bitch, don't touch my stuff." And then the girl that got yanked down stood up smiling and kept walking out like, "Ha, that didn't hurt me or embarrass the shit out of me. I'm good." And then
See y'all later.
the girl followed her out there, and apparently they fought a little bit more, but that was a little wild. But I don't remember what I was gonna say, but maybe we'll come back to me. So let's move on.
Me and Mondo watched a girl overdose there during our set.
Really? On what?
I don't know on what, but we went out to the back. You know how you can load in and out the back
Yeah, yeah.
alleyway? We were loading in, and there was this. It was me and Mondo. We were gonna play a song swap, and there was this girl there who was like leaned against, or she was screaming. That's what it was. She was like screaming, everybody like just irate, drunk chick, just
Hmm.
being an ass, And we're like
Yeah.
loading our gear and stuff. When we come out later for our break, we played like an hour or whatever, and we took a break and go out there. And that same girl that was screaming is now laid against that little privacy fence that's back there,
Hmm.
and her friends are like over the top of her, like, Stephanie, wake up, wake up. And
Good
I'm like, is
Lord.
she okay? They look at me like, she's fine, she's fine. And that girl, like, she was like obviously ODing on something,
Oh,
or
I'm
I don't know
not
what the hell.
fine.
She wasn't fine. I went inside and I got the girl who was running the bar. There's always like the one chick running the bar, and I was like,
Hmm.
I think there's someone ODing in the back. And they're like, that's just Stephanie. She fell off a bird
I knew it.
scooter.
I knew they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's Stephanie."
Yeah,
She.
but no, turns
Mhm.
out the medics came and they wheeled her away, so she was not fine.
Wow.
Hmm. Yeah, Deep Ellum. It's a real fun place to ride around a bird scooter if you have a Glock 23 in your hip.
Yeah. Be armed.
Hmm. Speaking of arms, you got any advice for the bicep working out there? What are those things on your shoulders? Are those part of that T-shirt, or what's going on right in here?
This is
Right here. What is
upper
this?
trap,
Okay.
upper
How do
trapezius,
okay.
right there,
All
and
right.
that muscle is worked out primarily through shoulder shrugs. So you
My
get
wife,
big
I'm like,
heavy
hey, will you
weights.
do this? And she's like, I don't know. This?
Yeah, but put weights in our hands first.
Okay, I got you.
But uh, I mean, fitness, bodybuilding, fitness. That's definitely something that I could talk for 6 straight hours about.
I
And
was about to ask if we could we go to full body? Could we
but the problem with
maybe not.
talking about it is there's so many intricacies, and everyone that you're talking to is different, has different challenges. And I've still, to this day, despite talking to hundreds of people about this, when they ask about it, I still don't have a quick answer. I'm going to work on that. But,
It's all right. You don't have to have an answer. You're
well,
just naturally svelte.
I think the quick answer is I've said this before. I said this to my nephew recently. He's asking like, "What do I do to get strong?" Here's the thing: you're always
Steroids.
gonna do, yeah, do steroids for sure. But I haven't, by the way. I'm very proud of the fact that I haven't. But you're always going to do what you want to do the most. You're always going to do what you want to do the most. For example, people are like, oh, I really want to quit smoking, man. I'm thinking about getting one of those Nicorette patches. I really want to quit smoking. Well, you want to smoke more than you want to quit smoking.
100 times out of a
That's
100 times.
that's obvious as hell if you think about it. No one's making you smoke. You're
What
paying to
happened?
smoke.
You
Like,
turned green. You turned green.
am I
Are you
still
green?
green? You're
You're
green.
very. You're.
I'm
No,
serious.
you're green, bro. All
You're greener than me.
right, we're good. You're back out of it. I don't know what happened,
Yeah,
but you're.
yeah,
You're.
you're not green either. That's really weird that you saw me as green and I saw you as green. Oh, you
Anyways,
saw
do
me as
steroids
green.
work out?
You saw me as green, and I saw green reflected on your face. Okay, that's what was happening. Okay,
Okay.
anyway, so people are like, I really want to get in shape. What do I need to do? And I'm like, well, you have to eat healthy and exercise. That's the there. It goes deeper than that. There's more details to it, but that's what happens. That's what you
If
do.
someone wanted to reach out to you to get a personalized system, how could they do that? If they said,
Well,
"Hey, Seth, I want you to teach. I want you to write me a program." You're a personal trainer, aren't you? Or no?
no, I do physical therapy. It's
Oh,
medic.
fuck. My
I'm
bad.
medical field. Uh, I could definitely do personal training. I have the knowledge base, I have the experience, all that stuff. But
You have the
to
Instagram
do
pictures.
personal, I have IG pictures for days. But
Ah, geez, is that what they call it?
IG is or the gram. But
You have kids?
to do personal training, I have one 17-year-old son,
Oh, that's
and
why you know stuff.
he doesn't eat enough protein. Bottom line. But
Mm.
anyway, to do personal training properly, you do need to dedicate time to it. You do need to, I can guide people, but don't. I wouldn't want you to make me a personal trainer unless someone was like, "Hey, I'm rich, and I'll give you, $1,000 a week to give me meal plans and workout plans." Yeah, I would do that. That's worth it. That's good
We
money,
only have rich listeners. You're fine. Check your email,
But
SethJonesBand@gmail.com.
yeah, it's saying your
Connection's unstable.
bandwidth is low.
I live in Tig, so probably. Is it? Can
Yeah,
you see me?
I can
Yo.
see you choppily.
Okay, well I won't move that much. Do you believe in ghosts?
Um, it depends on like what sense. I do believe that that there are like spirits, spirit worlds, different dimensions, aliens, all that crap. Because there's no way that the universe is as simple as we think it is.
So do you
But
have a ghost story?
no, because I don't believe it in that way. Like when someone's like, I was walking through my house and I saw a white figure go by and I felt the presence. Like I don't believe that shit. I think that
But if you,
I I believe in the power of the brain. I believe that you could manifest something that you like. I definitely saw it. Well, I believe that you saw it, but it wasn't there. You know what I mean?
okay,
And the
but
presence you felt was you honestly in your head seeing a fucking ghost. Of course you felt you're freaked out. Yeah, I get it. You felt the presence.
if you're walking through a dark, creepy house and you feel the
Yeah.
presence, would you walk quicker?
No, because I would immediately, if I felt like the hairs stand up on my
If
arm or
you felt a
something,
ghost, yes.
yeah, if I felt that feeling, I would immediately think I'm either just being a pussy, like I'm believing in ghosts, or I did hear something and there's someone in the house. Or, you know what I mean? Like there's a real explanation for it. There might be someone in the house or a big ass rat or something. If I heard something or a creak, I would never, like, I would immediately, if I thought, oh, there's a ghost in this house, I would immediately rationalize it like, there's not a fucking ghost in this house. No, there's not. I'm being scared of the thought of ghosts. Like,
Yeah.
or and if I really did hear like a boom 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 knocking on the wall, I'd be like, there's a fucking person in here. There's a person in this house, and I need to go handle this situation before they handle me. So I rationalize things as quickly as possible so that I don't do dumb shit.
That's good.
You know,
That's been my favorite, one of my very favorite questions to ask people because I've gotten I'm getting different answers every time. I feel like most people would just say yes or no, but people, people have actual ghost stories. A couple people have had ghost stories.
I'm sure if you ask 10 people, 7 will have a legit ghost story. But like
Well,
I I remember when I was a kid, I'd be in the house and I would like I said see some figure move by or something like that. But I saw it because I'm a kid and I'm scared anyway of things and my mind's playing these tricks on me and I think there's a ghost. Now I'll tell you this, everything that you see or you experience, that's all your brain. That's your perception. That's what you perceive. Like what you see, colors, your brain makes those colors. Your brain is seeing the colors. You know what I mean? Um, if you wear glasses that flip everything upside down, your brain will eventually turn it right side up the way you want to see it. And then if you take those off,
is
everything
that
will be
backed by
upside down.
science?
This is backed by science. If you
You
take
just made
those
this
off,
shit up.
no, you look it up. Look up
Google it. All right.
optical tricks,
I will.
field of vision reversals and stuff like that. But anyway, I'll tell you what is once again it's the mind. So this is not supernatural. But have you ever had like a night terror?
Talk to me, Goose.
Uh,
I don't know.
I
I don't know
can.
if I had or not.
I
Is that a
believe
nightmare?
this is a. It's no sleep paralysis type thing.
Okay, you're number 2 on sleep paralysis for this. So let's
Okay,
hear.
well, this is terrible. This is a terrible thing, and some people have it all the time, and
Mm.
that sucks. But I've had it a couple of times. But the one time that I remember so vividly, I was sleeping at my parents' house. I was an adult at this time, had a baby. My son was like 1 or something, or I don't know. He was a little baby, but I was asleep in the bed, me and my wife, dark house, doors open to our room, and there's a long, dark hallway. This is the long, dark hallway of my childhood. Okay, this is my parents' house. Remember, and I was dreaming, and my son was asleep in the living room on the couch. Big living room, big wide window. That outside of the window is just dark country. We're in the woods, right? So it's just darkness out there. So I have a thing about windows. I don't like open windows, where people can see me, but I can't see them. I don't like that. That's an unfair advantage for them. And I'm in my
Look
house.
behind you.
I should have all the advantages in my house. It should be
Your front
floodlights
door.
outside. What?
Okay. Your front door is that.
Oh,
It's an open window that people can see in and you can't see them.
that's different though because I don't necessarily like it, but like our neighbors don't go out there, and they're the only ones that would be out there anyway. Plus, I got my dogs; they're little alarm systems. But anyway, yeah, I don't like that either.
You don't like
But
the blinds. Don't get
the
distracted. All right, there's your
situation,
parents.
the situation is that somewhere in my mind, I didn't like that my son was in this vulnerable room. But whatever, that's where you're sleeping. We're sleeping here. So I'm asleep, and I'm having this dream that feels real, right? And the reason it feels real is because the way night terrors and sleep paralysis work is that you're kind of awake, but your body is not. So I'm having a dream that a woman picked up my son, and she's in like a black dress, a long black dress, and she looked like my wife's stepsister, who's a creepy looking woman anyway. And so she walked into the hallway and like was holding my son, big black dress, just pale face, holding my son, just kind of looking at me. And I knew, like panic, like she's going to take our son to the woods. She's stealing our son. And I wanted, obviously, and remember, I'm partially awake here, right? My body's not, but my mind is. I'm wanting to react. So in my head, I'm like, get up and go beat the shit out of this bitch. Like, just go knock her out and get your son and call the cops or whatever to handle the situation. So I wanted to get up,
Seth.
and I wanted to get up and run at her and do something. But she just looked at me and just kind of smiled and still had my son and turned around and walked back towards the living room to, in my head, just go into the woods, leave, steal my son, never see him again. Who knows what happens to his life? And I was freaking out because I couldn't move. My body wouldn't move. I believe my wife said I was like twitching in my sleep and like kind of jerking a little bit. And like I said, Seth's brain is in pure panic mode. I cannot go rescue my son. This isn't like a dream where you're like, oh, and I was thinking about this. This was like I was awake and I'm trying, if you're dead asleep and someone breaks a glass in your house, you're gonna get up right immediately. You're gonna reach for your gun. You're gonna run. I was trying to do all this shit. I couldn't move. So I'm panicking, man. And I think my wife said, help, like that. Like I was trying to yell because if you can't move, you're going to be like, hey, somebody help, like get her.
Yeah.
And so I was like, help, like that. And then she like touched me and I woke up. I was like sweating and I didn't freak out because when she did that, I opened my eyes. I'm like, I was asleep, but it's a terrible thing. And it is definitely terrible. It's pure panic. It's stress is stress. Stress is a bad thing. It's very unhealthy. It changes your cortisone levels. It ages you. It degrades your body's systems. So I was legitimately stressing hardcore. So imagine like people that have this all the time, like almost every night. You're going through the worst stress ever for 10 minutes. So sleep paralysis, night terrors, terrible things. But once again, she wasn't a ghost. That was my brain. It could, you could have said it was a ghost. Like a ghost kept me from moving and I saw her but it was my brain.
Yeah.
Ghosts saw
I'm
your
with
brain.
you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, that's interesting though. So I'm horrible at math, but if you're
Me too.
34 and your kid's 17, you had your kid at what, 12 or what? I mean, I can't do
Yeah.
math really, but close to
Well, you're good
17.
enough at math to know that we were young. Yeah, we were like 17 or so. We were
Mm-hmm.
still in high school. And I finished out my senior year. My wife went for a little bit, then stayed at home to be pregnant, obviously. But she was taking like college classes, so she wasn't just chilling. But yeah, I got her pregnant in our senior year, basically, and that made life really tough to start because the start was tough. It's a
Yeah, that's
whole
crazy
new
to
day out
jump
of.
in at 17 and like I am 32 and we have a kid coming in May and this is our first kid. So I
Oh,
can't
nice.
imagine being 17. I'm panicky at 32, so or 33 whenever she'll be
Yeah,
here. So 17, I can't imagine that. My mom, she had me whenever she was 18 or 19, and and I'm like, man, like I'll be okay. I'm 32, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I can't imagine having being 17 and like being like, okay, you have to be an adult now, and you have a kid
yeah.
coming.
Well, the good news uh, about America, at least, is even if you don't have money or a job, you got government help. Like, hey, we need. It ain't. I mean, you ain't gotta live glamorously, but the government will get you food, right? You got a WIC card, you can get milk and cheese and egg, whatever they give you. I've seen people buy Cheetos with them damn things, so I guess
Hmm.
you can live kind of good.
You can
But
buy them for like half off. You can buy whatever you want with them. They sell
oh,
like
okay. Well,
$100 worth for $50. Here, I got you. I'll send you a
so
link on Facebook.
basically, you're not screwed even if you ain't got money or a job. But we were lucky to have supportive family. Like, they were like, we'll help you, we'll help watch your kid. And if you want to work extra, well, we had basically people to help watch the kid, the baby, when that we needed help. So that helped us out. I mean, everything still sucked for sure. I worked my life away, jobs I didn't like at all. But it could have been worse had we been in a worse situation, familial wise.
So I'm gonna clip out some of this stuff and make one big episode with a bunch of people, for like a fatherhood episode, so to speak.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Do you have any advice as a father to a first-time father, or maybe something from your father that he did, or something like, hey, be cognizant of this, maybe, or something? It's kind of a lot to ask.
I would say, sorry. I would say, lead by example. Be aware that you're the one that they're learning from, even when you don't know. Like that song, "I've Been Watching You," that country song.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, Dad, I'm doing what you've been doing because you're the guy. You're the blueprint.
Crystal meth, right?
Yeah. So basically, be aware of what you do, how you act, because you'll notice over time your kid starts acting like you, and it's not just a genetic component. You can adopt a kid and they'll start talking. If you're real deadpan and just kind of chill out, they'll be acting like that too. And you're like, hey, he
Mm-hmm.
acts just like me. Well, yeah, you're the guy he's been watching in his
Right. Or
formative
super
years.
racist all of a sudden. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
if
well,
you call everyone the N word, guess what your son's gonna do?
right, right, yeah,
He's not gonna be the cool kid in school. I promise you that.
right. Depends on what school you go. No, I'm just
Yeah, some of
joking.
them he'll be the
Right.
superstar. Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about Canton, Texas. Talk to me about the mountain.
Well,
Let me preface. I went to Canton not too long ago. It was one of the weekends y'all are going to be playing,
yeah,
and I took me 1 hour coming from like Tig Fairfield area. It took me 1 hour to get from that F-16 jet to the actual entrance to the marketplace. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
1 hour,
We're,
and
we're,
that's about what, 3 blocks, maybe 4 blocks.
that's
I
pretty
don't know. It's
crazy.
probably less than a mile, I would imagine.
Well, when was this?
This was right whenever it was like one of the very first. It was still sunny and kind of hot. There was like it was like one of the first weekends they started opening back up, and Canton was freaking packed. I mean, like all those parking lots that are across the street were packed. I mean, it literally took us 1 hour to get there, and then we walked around in there. We were gonna come to the mountain that night and hang out with y'all and play music and BS. But I got a pregnant wife walking around Canton, and I'm dragging a wagon through 1,000 people. So we obviously didn't make it.
I'll say this: it hadn't been like that. It's been way more chill, no traffic. But basically, Colton Mathis, do you know him?
Yes, adjacently.
He is an incredible guitar player. He's a great singer, good songwriter. He's a great artist overall. He bought a stage on the mountain, and it's literally a big stage with a building attached to it that we use as a green room / nursery. But it's just a really cool spot because what it is what he has done there is basically get other songwriters to show up and just kind of hang out. It's not super official. You know, most shows and events are real official. And it's like, we start at this time and this guy's going to go on for 30 minutes. He just kind of says, hey, who wants to go first? And you're like, oh, I'll do it. And then someone played for 30 minutes. And then he's like, hey, one more song. You're like, okay, cool. And then the next guy comes up. And when you're not playing, you're just kind of walking around drinking whiskey or something and talking to people. It's just a fun event, man. Like, it's me, another guy that goes there a lot, as often as me, his name is Zach Welch. We both love punk. We love Old 97s. We love Sublime. We're pretty damn like anti-establishment by nature. So these big corporate events kind of appall us to an extent. We're just like, hey, you money-hungry bastards. You know, so stuff like this where everyone's just kind of organically doing their thing and it just works out because everyone's cool and understanding that if we're all cool, it's going to work. It's going to be a fun time. That's kind of what happens here. And of course, if it got wildly popular and there are 1,000 people there, it would be tougher to maintain. There's a reason why China sucks. It's because there's too many people, you know, and people are like, how does this little desert island have such a great community? Well, there's 20 of them. There's 20 people agreed how to act. It's good to go, right? So we've got a small gathering there, and it's easy to manage, and it works out. So if it did get 1,000 people every time, it might not be as cool. I don't know. Maybe it would be. I'm not going to I'm not going to curse it like that. But
well, it looks cool. All the pictures
it looks
look
cool.
dope.
As it stands, it's a really cool event, and I do suggest everyone show up. Colton will, if you're an artist, Colton will take really cool pictures of you and like good video of you that you can use, you know, to promote yourself, market yourself. And if you're just a patron, just showing up to have fun, it's BYOB. Bring your beer, bring your whiskey, bring your weed, whatever you want to do, and just come hang out. It's a very fun time.
Yeah, I've been talking to Colton on Facebook randomly about it because right after he bought the Mathis, what is it, Mathis Family Store? Is that what it's called? The
Yeah.
Mathis Family Store. Right after he got that, we got the Tig Farmers Market. We bought. It's like an old building downtown. It's in Main Street, Old Main, and it's dilapidated building, you know. But we're trying to do something similar, trying to start putting some music out there and kind of.
That's cool.
Right now it's BYOB. We got cafe lights hung up, and we did an event not too long ago, and like a song swap. We had a bunch of propane heaters out there, but it is very low budget and I don't know. It reminds me a lot of what Colton and them are doing over there. So
yeah, well then you already know I like it. I just described. I like things that feel grassroots, organic. You know, not too shiny, not corporated. I like that. I enjoy it, and that's not to say that I like if Colton and or you did those events and they started growing, you started making money. That's good. I want that to happen. I might not necessarily like it as much, and I might lose interest in it, but I want y'all to succeed. So I'll just go find something else to do.
Too. Yeah, right. Let's talk TikTok, and then I'll let you go to bed. You're the only friend I have on Facebook who post on TikTok. I'm not,
I haven't
what
done
do you
it in
think
3
about it so
weeks.
far? No, no, no. Okay,
Well,
well, whatever. We won't talk about the 3 weeks before that, but we'll talk about it. What
okay.
is it? Do you like
Well,
it? Is it working? The videos seem cool, but
well,
what is it? I don't explain to a 32-year-old who
I'll
doesn't
just
have a 17-year-old what TikTok is.
I'll just start there. I haven't posted in 3 weeks for a reason, because it might have
Okay,
been 4 weeks. And just so you'll know, my 17-year-old doesn't even do it. I don't think he's even on TikTok.
it's
Probably
not
because
even for them.
he realizes it sucks. I don't know who it's for. I think it is for people like 17 through 20. But here's the thing: I've had so many people tell me you need to get on TikTok. Your music will spread on TikTok. Get on TikTok. People are getting famous on TikTok. All you gotta do is put your music on TikTok. Well, this person did it. This person did it. And I just kept saying, no, it looks so stupid. It looks so dumb. I have an intuition for certain things, and I could just tell based on the name TikTok, the way it was colored, the logo, what people were doing on it from what I've heard. And I was like, it just sounds so stupid. It turns out I was right. But anyway, there was another person. It wasn't a special person, just the straw that broke the camel's back. A person was like, "Yeah, you should go on TikTok." And I was like, "Oh my god, okay, I'll make a TikTok today. This when I get home, I'm gonna make a TikTok." So I did it. Didn't know what to do. Just made a random video. Um, and I've made some videos. I've had very little response. Damn sure hasn't made me famous. Hasn't made me any fans, to my knowledge.
I love hearing that because that's what every social media is. It's like you make a video and then you just like waiting for
Yeah,
fame or something. You know?
but
No.
the thing is, on other social medias, at least I'll meet, I'll talk to somebody. There's communication, and they're like, "Hey man, I'll check your music out." We follow each other, and they're like, "Hey guys, check it out." Like something actually happens.
Yeah,
TikTok, the thing is, it's just people. Everyone on there is wanting. Everyone on there
they're
can
there to get the
easily,
thing.
yeah,
Right.
they want to get
Right.
famous, you know.
Right.
So and like if you're on Twitter, only so many of those people are talented musicians or artists. And so there's a lot of people there like, oh, I found this Seth Jones guy. He's talented. I'm going to share it because they're not trying to do this. They're just on
Yeah.
Twitter, just talking and chatting and meeting people. On TikTok, everyone is trying to post a video, and most of them are just shaking their butt to some shitty rap song. And and by the way, there's this feature where you can just go to random video, random video, random video. Yeah, almost every single one is a girl shaking her butt to a shitty rap song. And
So
like a lot of them
there
are the
you go.
same. A lot of them are the same songs. Like there's one that goes, "Little waist, big titties, yada 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 yada." Like literally, those are the words. Yada yada
Yeah.
yada 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 yada
Oh,
yada.
really?
Yada. They all do the same dance. They point to the titties, point to the butt, and then go
Mm.
like that. And they're all doing the same thing.
Have you done those dances, or are you trying to do Seth Jones stuff? Because I think if you play the TikTok, you're trying to play Seth Jones game in the TikTok world.
Yeah,
You got to play TikTok world.
yeah, but I
You
hate
know what
it.
I'm trying to say.
I hate
You
it
got to do
so
the
much.
dance.
And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, the ultimate goal in life is to be happy. And
Yeah.
if I'm doing the stupid butt dances on TikTok, I will
You're
not be
hopping like a
happy.
bunny. Bum
Yeah,
bum
and
bum
they do
bum, or
that.
whatever. That's stupid. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna stop. Like I'll post a video at some point again, just like and just to have my song out there or whatever. It's probably not gonna go anywhere, but social media is like fishing. The more lines you've got out, the higher chance a bobber is gonna bob, right? So
Yep.
it's important to at least post once every couple of days on Twitter. At least get on Instagram every now and then and comment on people's stuff. At least go on TikTok once every couple of weeks and make a video. It's not going to hurt you. And
My Twitter is like your TikTok. I post
it's
the tweet
terrible.
and it just disappears. It
Yeah.
just goes to die out there. There's no one sees it. For a while,
Well,
like maybe Zach would click like, and then I'd get like two people. They would be on my little rotation.
well, I have no
Teach me.
advice at all for TikTok. No. I have
Okay.
advice for Twitter. I do have
Okay.
advice for Twitter. Um, on Twitter,
Be Wetzel.
no, don't do that because you
Oh.
can't. I've
Okay.
tried. No one gives a
Whoa,
shit.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
When I say dumb shit like whoa, fuck, hungover. No one cares. I've tried that. But if
Oh,
he
you don't
does it,
get.
he gets 10,000 likes.
I love it.
So,
I think it's beautiful.
well,
That's
if
just me being jealous if I'm griping about it.
don't post dumb Coetzel shit unless you're Coetzel. That's one piece of advice.
I think that's good
Another
advice
one,
for everybody.
another one. This is more practical. In my experience, the best way to handle Twitter is when you're starting out and you don't know many people, just find some other musician friends who do have some followers and just kind of comment on their stuff.
Yeah, and just jerk
Like,
off at them. Yeah.
yeah, and then when you see, like, go to, for example, if you're wanting a Coetzel crowd, if you want people that like Coetzel to like you, reply to
Go there and
Coetzel
say
stuff.
Coetzel shit. Yeah.
Go to Coetzel's post, preferably right when he posts it. That, you know, if you get lucky, if he posts something, if he posts 1 minute ago, fucking Dallas Cowboys gonna win it all, promise. Then you reply to that something like, try to make it kind of funny, like I will intentionally get alcohol poisoning if they make the playoffs because I love them so much. Some shit like that, and then people are gonna see that. Okay, they'll see that you're commenting on that, and then they'll post something like on his tweet. This something like I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan, but Jerry's pissing me off. I'm thinking about leaving. You say some shit like, "Hey, we've endured Jerry for this long. We can go another 10 years." You just do little comments like that, not aggressive, just kind of funny, kind of like, "Hey, I'm with you, pal," and then they might like
That
you.
seems so
Another
exhausting.
thing,
It sounds so
yeah,
exhausting,
it's
Seth.
not fun.
I'm not
It's
into
not fun.
fucking Twitter. Yeah.
It's not fun. And sometimes you just get like I'm doing with TikTok. I just kind of accepted that it ain't for me. I hate it. It's not fun. It ain't working. So I'm just kind of keeping my bobber out there.
I'm gonna
So
go with the YouTube thing. I feel like I'm gonna try to push everything in that direction. Maybe.
yeah, that's
Just like
another
treat it like it's social media almost.
that's another strategy that works for some people is just focusing all their energy on one platform. And YouTube is interesting because it's like one of the oldest things out of all the social medias, which YouTube is basically a social media now. I mean, there's comment sections and you friend people. So yeah, you could definitely do that. And on the same concept though, you go to other people's videos, you comment, you see someone comment, "This is my favorite
Oh,
Randy
that
Rogers
works on
song
YouTube.
ever."
Yeah.
And then you reply to them like, "I love Randy Rogers, and this is one of my favorite too. I also really love, Speak of the Devil. I love that one." And then they'll click like on that, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, me too." And
I've
then maybe they'll
been
check out your
watching
page.
camp cooking videos, Dutch oven videos, and I
Dude,
just ask
that's
them people like, "Hey, what's your favorite thing to cook?" And people just want to tell you about what they like to cook or whatever.
yeah. Yeah, it's just it's just basically small talk based on what you already know they want to talk about based on what they just said. You just kind of
Yeah.
indulge them and you let them know, yeah, I listen to music. I mean, I play music and here's my page if you're interested. It's just online conversations and it's not fun. And I wish it would go away, but it won't. So I'm participating.
Well, we're here to endure it. So outside of that, is there anything you'd like to promote? I know you just got Whiskey Attitude out there. I listened to it. It's a great country album. It's super country.
Thank you, sir.
I never know what to expect when country is it's very country. It's got fiddle, it's got steel, it sounds nice.
Yeah.
I really liked Break Our Love, and
Yeah.
then what was the other one I like? What's the one? Maybe. What'd you do on the? Did you just do something at Landmark? What was the one at Landmark you just posted?
Oh, the video?
Yeah,
That's called Fraction.
yeah.
That was
a good one too.
that was one of the Fiddle Punk songs. That was on my album called "Fuck You," and it was one of my favorite songs from that album. And I plan on playing during my shows country songs and punk songs and kind of merging it all to getting all my stuff consolidated more so, because the punk songs are good too. I don't want them to just die. I want to keep them alive and keep writing them and you know, and everyone. There's so many people playing country. There's so many people playing punk. There's not that many that kind of fuses things together. So I'm gonna lead that charge for the
Do
most
it.
part. Because I'm not
All
scared.
right, man. Where can they reach out to you for all their $1,000 meal preps and stuff?
Well, for the meal prepping, I would say go somewhere else. But but for the music stuff, on Twitter, go to @SethJonesTX. That's it. And on the Instagram, it's @SethJonesBand, which I'm trying to change that to TX as well, but it ain't working out. But anyway, go to Seth Jones Band. And if all else fails, the best thing you can probably do is just get on wherever you stream music, go there and type in Seth Jones, Puzzle Man, Whiskey Attitude, listen to the albums, tell your friends about it. That's probably the most beneficial thing to me right now.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir. Maybe I'll see you on the mountain
Steve.
one day.
Yeah, let me know. Let's play together at some point. Just give me a heads up. That way I can plan it and put it in the calendar. Once it's in my calendar, I can tell people, nope, I can't work that day. We got something to do. But if you let me know Monday, hey, you want to play Thursday? I'll probably be like, dude, I'm working Thursday. I didn't know. Let me know about next week though, because I got to schedule my shit. You know what I
I
mean?
understand you're a busy man.
Yep.
All right, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Let me know when this is posted.
Okay, thanks. We'll see you.
All right, bye, Steve.
See you.